Hello friends, welcome. In this video, I will discuss everything that you need to know about the Enhanced Survey program from the examination point of view. So let's get started. Enhanced Survey program was established for bulk carriers and oil tankers, and it is mandatory as per SOLAS Chapter 11 Part 1 Regulation 2. This program was first adopted on 4th of November 1993 by IMO Assembly Resolution 744 18th session. Then it was later replaced by Assembly Resolution 1049 session 27 and the latest resolution 1049 session 27 is the international code on the enhanced program of inspection during survey of bulk carriers and oil tankers, also called the ESP code. And this code came into force on 1st January 2014. And before I dive into the whole program, let me just answer why is it applicable only to bulk carriers and tanker ships. In the 1990s, a lot of bulk carriers were lost at sea, and the reduction of structural strength of the ship was a major factor in all those lives and the ships that were lost at sea. Thus, an enhanced program was necessary for them. For the oil tankers, there were not many losses at sea, but because of the nature of the cargo they're carrying, it is a highly dangerous ship to take a chance with. Thus, the oil tankers were included into the enhanced survey program. And second question that comes to mind is what is the need? When both these ships are being surveyed regularly by the Surveyors of Classification Society. There are annual surveys, intermediate survey, renewal surveys, periodical surveys that are being carried out. So why an additional survey? And the answer is there is no additional survey. It is as per the name suggested that the surveys which are already being carried out are enhanced. That means the way original survey was usually being carried out, it is further enhanced by checking more of the areas, by doing more close-up inspections and also doing thickness measurement of ship structure and bulkheads. The ESP code provides detailed instructions on how to carry out the survey. Let me quickly tell you the contents of the ESP code. ESP code has two annexes, Annex A and Annex B. And these two annexes are further divided into two parts, Part A and Part B each. Annex A provides you the code on the enhanced program of inspection during the survey of bulk carriers, and Annex B deals with the code on enhanced program of inspection during the survey of oil tankers. The further subdivision basically is for single hull and double hull bulk carriers and oil tankers. Now we have a code that we need to follow. So how do we execute it? The ESP code has a detailed instruction on the minimum criteria for inspection during each statutory survey. For example, you can see Annex 1 of ESP code defines the requirement for the close-up survey during renewal survey of the ship. Minimum survey requirement from the time when the ship is less than 5 years old to the time when it's more than 15 years old, all the instructions are provided. As you can notice from this, as the ship ages, the extent of inspection is continuously increased. By the time a ship is more than 15 years old, all shelf frames in all cargo holds, including upper and lower end attachment and adjacent shell plating, are inspected. Similarly, there is Annex 2 of the ESP code, which defines the requirement for the thickness measurement during the renewal survey of the ship. And from this Annex 2, you can notice that older the ship, more detailed and larger extent of inspection will be carried out. Thus, the guidelines given in the ESP code becomes the first source on the basis of what survey program or survey planning document is developed. Along with the minimum criteria provided by the ESP code, there are other factors which decide what kind of inspection and how detailed would the inspection be carried out. There is a discussion that takes place between the ship owner and the classification society. Based on the feedback given by the ship owner, like the kind of cargo the ship has been carrying, any accidental history, or any suspected areas that have been reported by the ship personnel, or that has come from the experience of a sister ship, or the knowledge from the industry. All these factors together are considered to develop a program under which the ship will be surveyed. Now that the program is already prepared in advance and the ship owner knows exactly what all points will be checked on the ship, it is the responsibility of the ship owner to keep everything prepared that the survey can be completed safely. The developed plan is never a final plan. It can always be extended based on the outcome of the samples that are being taken. Let's say, while carrying out the thickness measurement of a particular bulkhead, the thickness is found to be reduced less than the maximum allowed reduction of the bulkhead. Then, obviously, more detailed inspection in that area is carried out, checking more bulkheads, taking more samples in that area. Once the survey is complete, it is time for creating the report for the survey that will show the summary of all the surveys done and its outcome. And the report is called Condition Evaluation Report. This report gives the actual condition of the tank coating. As per ESP, the condition of tank coating need to be defined as any of these one way. It can be called good, fair, or poor based on if only minor rust is there, local breakdown of coating is there, or a major breakdown of about 20% is there. If a condition of class is issued to the ship as a result of the renewal survey, the details of the condition of class will be provided in the condition evaluation report. Condition evaluation report will also have the details of any memorandum of class issued to the ship. Condition evaluation report also documents and highlights any area that have been observed to have substantial corrosion. The same report will also provide the summary of thickness measurement that was carried out and any area of concern that is identified. So far, you know what is ESP code, you know how the survey is done, how it is planned. Now that the survey is finished and the report is made, there is a file that you need to maintain on board which is called ESP file. And this file contains survey report related to hull structure, the condition evaluation report, the thickness measurement report, and master has to make sure that these records are available in the ESP file. This file gives a detailed information to the crew members and gives guidance when they carry out a routine inspection in the future. And before I conclude, there are some important definitions as per ESP code that you should know. First is critical structural area. What this means is a location which has been identified from the calculation to require monitoring or from the service history of the subject ship or from a similar or sister ship to be sensitive to cracking, buckling or corrosion which would impair the structural integrity of the ship. Then second is overall survey. Survey intended to report on the overall condition of the hull structure and determine the extent of additional close-up surveys. The third is close-up survey. That is a survey when details of the structural component are within the close visual inspection range of the surveyor. That is normally within the reach of hand. Next definition is suspect areas. This is the location showing substantial corrosion and or are considered by the surveyor to be prone to rapid wastage. To understand these definitions, think of them like this. Before you start a survey, there is a report that is made. You consider the history of the ship and you consider all the information that is received from the sister ships or any other source related to this ship and decide which may be the critical areas which should be properly checked. And then, when doing the survey, there are two kinds of things you're doing. Either you're making an overall survey, that means looking at the overall condition of the hull structure without going into the details. And the next stage is close up survey, when the surveyor needs to get really close to the structural component and identify how's the condition of it. And during the close up survey, he may find a suspect area. Suspect area is basically where there is substantial corrosion or an area which the surveyor feels is prone to rapid wastage. And the last term you should know is the substantial corrosion. Substantial corrosion is an extent of corrosion such that assessment of corrosion pattern indicates a wastage in excess of 75% of the allowable margin, but within acceptable limit. To understand it better, here is a diagram that explains it. In this diagram, the orange part, TD, is the maximum allowed thickness reduction. And if This allowance get used up by 75% or more, that is considered substantial reduction or substantial corrosion. Finally, I conclude that there have been risks which were found higher for the bulk carriers and tankers. Thus, an enhanced survey program was created for them, which basically meant that the general surveys that are happening for any ship, it is enhanced in the case of bulk carriers and tankers. With prior planning, along with the ship owner and class, a program is developed how the survey will be carried out based on the reports that were created from the ship and what is required as per the ESP code. Once the survey is complete, a condition evaluation report is made based on the outcome of close up and thickness measurement inspection. Then finally, it is all put in the ESP file, which contains hull related survey report, condition evaluation report, and thickness measurement report, which is used by the ship personnel for the future surveys and also used during the next renewal inspections. I hope it was a useful video for you. If you have any feedback, suggestion, or comment, then please do write down below. All the best for your exams, and thank you for watching.